The US economy likely grew at a blistering pace as the country emerged from the darkest days of the coronavirus pandemic. The question now is what happens next, especially as the Delta variant continues to spread. On Thursday morning, the Commerce Department is expected to report that gross domestic product grew around 8% in the period between April and June from a year earlier as the rollout of vaccines spurred a surge in economic activity. That would potentially be the second fastest quarterly growth since 1983, after a 33.4% annualized surge in the July to September period of last year, when the pandemic led to intense volatility in the economy. Consumer spending was very strong in the second quarter, says Jay Bryson, the chief economist at Wells Fargo. In general, you're looking at very, very strong growth. But GDP data is backward-looking, and many analysts expect growth to have marked a peak. For the second half of the year, the pace of growth will inevitably slow down, even as it is likely to remain strong. The question is how much the economy could slow. Here are 4 factors that could determine the path forward. The pandemic is clearly not over yet. The highly transmissible Delta variant of the coronavirus is fueling a surge in cases around the US, and multiple municipalities have reinstated indoor mask mandates, including Los Angeles County and St. Louis. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention this week revised its guidance to recommend that some fully vaccinated people wear masks indoors if they live in areas with substantial or high transmission. Although few people expect the type of economic impact we saw when the pandemic started last year, it remains a real concern, given that only about half of the US population is fully vaccinated. Some small business owners and their employees are worried about a repeat of last year, when many were forced to shut down their stores. Ethnie Grazette, who works at Duman Home in Brooklyn, NY, says the spread of the virus could upend what has been a few very good months for the shop, which sells bedding and towels. These last few months have been pretty good, Grazette says, smiling. I got a lot of customers coming in. They're spending money. It's good for me and the people to get out. I'm worried about what might happen, she adds, however, remembering the anxiety and uncertainty during the first part of the pandemic. If this new variant makes us shut down again, it's going to put a lot of strain on the economy. Another risk is inflation. Data this month showed consumer prices surged 5.4% in June from a year earlier, the highest increase in nearly 13 years. On Wednesday, after the Federal Reserve's 2-day meeting, Chair Jerome Powell again maintained that these increases are a result of pandemic disruptions to the economy and will be short-lived or transitory. Others are not so sure.